You ever get the feeling when you go to see a movie, before you go in, you're like, this could be a good movie, then you actually go to see it and it's not a good movie? That's this movie. Hi, my name is Nicola, and I'm here to bring you another movie review. What we're going to be reviewing today is Transformers: Age of Extinction. Alright, so the movie was directed by Michael Bay, and he was trying to reboot the series because the last three, I guess he said, was bad, so he wants to get more money. The problem with that is he brought in a whole bunch of new characters that we don't really give a shit about. Granted, he got rid of Shia LaBeouf and, annoying Megan Fox. That's cool. But he also brought in a whole bunch of other Autobots that we don't really care about and basically killed off a couple more Autobots. You have Optimus Prime and Bumblebee that are returning, but as far as anybody else, no. So let's make a rundown of the movie. This is how it starts out. It starts out basically them going back into the prehistoric times where supposedly the Transformers were there back during the extinction of the dinosaurs, and that's what caused it. Fast forward to present day, where you're in Paris, Texas, with Mark Wahlberg, his daughter, and T.J. Miller. If you don't know who T.J. Miller is, he's played in Silicon Valley, and if you don't remember him from that, he's in She's Out of My League, playing the comedy relief, or one of them at least. That's what he basically is in this film. He's the comedy relief. But, unfortunately, he doesn't appear in the movie for more than like 30-45 minutes, unfortunately. The movie's 2 hours and 45 minutes long, so you obviously know that there's going to be a lot of explosions. It spends the first hour in the movie talking about the family that we really don't even give a shit about. Basically talks about how Mark Wahlberg lost his wife, his daughter's trying to get into college, which is the reason why Mark Wahlberg is trying to help her by buying random shit, trying to fix it up, but unsuccessfully doing so. So then it pushes the story along, basically talking about how his daughter is the responsible one in the bunch, basically takes care of the bills, makes sure everything's good while he off and does his little thing. There's a lot of cliches and a lot of subplots in the cliches and in the plot itself that don't really make sense and they don't really go into. For example, she has a boyfriend and they randomly meet. I'm not going to tell you how, but they just randomly meet in the circumstances that happen during the movie. So our boyfriend is basically an Irish guy that loves his daughter, and he's trying to fight for her affection, and they both go at it back and forth. I love her more, no, I love her more, stuff like that. So they have this little combatants thing. But they spend too much time trying to fight back and forth, which kind of seems to me like they're trying to just push that plot along for the time being. They're just wasting time. You have Kelsey in the movie, who plays the villainous director of a secret organization inside the CIA, tasked with hunting down Decepticons, but instead of doing so, he hunts down all Transformers in themselves, whether it be Autobots or Transformers. Mostly Autobots, though. Basically a whole front of stuff starts happening, and then you have this mercenary ancient transformer named Lockdown, who is basically set there by the creators to preserve the balance of the universe. He's not on either side, which is actually a good part of the movie. Like, he's one of the more vicious villains in the movie because he doesn't take sides. He's neither on Decepticon nor Autobot side. He just wants to preserve the universe, but he's also kind of like a bounty hunter, so to speak. Then you have Stanley Tucci's character, who plays a business tycoon that is sent to create Transformers. They finally found the metal that creates them, so he's synthesizing it to make his own Transformers. In doing so, he actually creates Galvatron from the head of Megatron, which is not the actual historical accuracy of Transformers the movie, which Unicron reanimated Megatron into Galvatron. So that was a little flaw. But the problem that pissed me off with that is they didn't just create Galvatron. They made him stupid. Like, at one point, like a whole bunch of Transformers, they transform. They don't transform like you would see in the last three movies. No, they transform into little Cubert blocks, and they fly through the air and transform into a robot from a car or a plane or whatever they transform from. And that's stupid. Even Bumblebee at one point in the movie looks around as one of them is doing it and is just like, what the hell? So, I mean, that's one of the more stupid parts of the movie. They have the graphics to do amazing things, and then they resort to 2D Xbox One, Dreamcast graphics. And Michael Bay wants to shoehorn another, couple characters in there like he's done before with Devastator. He wanted to shoehorn the Dinobots in there because, you can't have a title without the actual, Transformers that are there. No, you can. He literally shoehorned all the Dinobots in there, which they're not even the real Dinobots. The only person that you have is Grimlock, which they don't even say Grimlock's name. He doesn't talk. None of them do. And I think it was just put in there so that way Optimus Prime could ride Grimlock. And that was it. I mean, they fought for a good second before Optimus is like, I need your help, I'll free you, whatever. But other than that, it was basically just riding Grimlock through the streets, and that's what sells tickets, so good for you, Michael Bay. Give Stanley Tucci credit because he basically was giving a shit character to try to make into people in the past movies, but he just couldn't do it. And I give him kudos for that. And then you have Mark Wahlberg, and I give him a little bit of credit because he actually tried to fill the void that Shia LaBeouf basically left, and he really couldn't do it. Possibly because of script, possibly just because the character was dumb. And then you have Autobots that are in there supposedly to replace Ironhide, Ratchet, Jazz, and a couple other people, which they don't do so. So, at one point in the movie, you're literally like, this is too many explosions because it just goes on and on and on. And I know that's a Michael Bay film and you're supposed to expect it, but there's a line that you don't cross. He crossed it. He literally laughed while he was crossing it because it's 2 hours. The last 2 hours of the movie were nothing but explosions. The first 45 minutes of the movie, yeah, they probably weren't that many explosions. But after that, it was non-stop, just explosions, explosions, explosions. You leave this theater finally realizing that you can have too many explosions in a movie. Like I said, you have Galvatron in this movie. He only fights Optimus once, but after that, he just sits back in the cut and does nothing. Why? Oh, because they want to push the plot along, and then maybe, hopefully, he'll be in the next movie. Holy shit, Optimus Prime can fly. Where did this happen? Why did this happen? Past 3 movies, he could only fly if he had his flight tech, but now, supposedly, he can fly. I understand that they're trying to make it like the G1 series where randomly the Transformers could fly around. Yeah, that's understandable, but explain. Don't just basically put that in there just because. It creates plot holes. A lot of this movie has those, so I don't understand why he's doing it. The plot hole is when Mark Wahlberg is inside Lockdown's ship and they find this whole wall of weapons, and then randomly out of the blue they find this one little sword probably about yay big, and he basically pulls it off the wall, and for no reason, just because the blade splits in half and it turns into a gun with little triggers on the hilt, which I don't understand how a Transformer could use it because it's small as shit. What are they gonna go like pew pew? Like, that doesn't make sense. But to push the plot along and to give him a fighting chance, yeah, let's go ahead and give him a Transformer human-sized weapon. That seems like a good idea. After all my ranting, I believe I would probably give this movie a 2 out of 10 just because of the lack of story, plot, the amount of subplots that were in here, the amount of plot holes that were in here, the non-historical accuracy to the actual comics, the movies, the G1 series, and just overall idiocy of the movie. Just because Michael Bay wants to make a new reboot series of the Transformers. So leave your comments in the section below and let me know what you think. Whether you disagree or you agree, just let me know and I'll try to get back to you and try to conversate with you in the comment section. But as always, this is KALEL, and I'll see you later.